Hi Capricorn parents, welcome to your reading for July 2023. Just a reminder that the super full moon at the beginning of the month is in your sign. So if anybody's going to be feeling the energy of this full moon, it is going to be Capricorns. Now, depending on what side of the coin you're on, this energy will be intense. And like I like to remind people, the tower energy, you can either be the part of the lightning bolt of change, or you can be part of the foundation that is crumbling. So the choice is always yours on what energy you want to align with. But do be prepared to feel some intense energy. I do see some emotional transformation coming from this full moon for you Capricorns. And you know, you are so connected to the earth, and you are so connected to the seeing the material world as it is, that this full moon could really we would really benefit from connecting to the emotions, the water. I mean, if you even have chance during, I mean, the full moon is right before the 4th. So if you do have a chance to be near water and connect to water and really incorporate that into your life, and also try and limit your time on social media, because we are going to be seeing, like I said, a lot of institutions and foundations crumbling. This can also be within. Pretty much every single person has gotten the King of Cups during shuffling. King of Cups, I relate to father energy. It is emotional maturity. I like to connect this when it comes to parenting with emotional regulation. So it is important that we do have our emotions in check this month, because if we allow ourselves to be engulfed in all of the chaos, we might be triggered to react in ways that we do not want to react. So take the time to allow this as a time for reflection, okay, Capricorn? Let's see what we got here for you. Okay. Yeah, definitely some emotional fulfillment. And again, look who's at the bottom again. Emotional fulfillment with relationships is what I really think, really focusing on that, focusing on our relationships with our family and our kids and our significant others. And again, to shift the perspective away from the chaos, because what's leaving is crumbling, yes, but what's coming in is fresh energy. I like to think too, like with these wildfires that are happening right now, and I mean, where I'm living, the smoke has gotten to hazardous levels, and although it is awful and you can't go outside right now, I know that after these fires are done, the earth is going to grow and come back and be more fruitful than ever. I also reflected on I think it's Fantasia 2000, and the song where the volcano destroys, the lava destroys the earth, but the earth comes back and flourishes. So that's kind of how you can see this energy right now, is, and instead of it being like two parallel timelines, they're actually going like this. So we're gonna see a lot of this happening. Like we're in the middle of the X right now. I also highly recommend too Pam Gregory, the astrologer on YouTube. Amazing full moon, super full moon reading in Capricorn. So definitely check that out, because like I said, the energy will definitely be felt in the sign that it's in, and that would be you this month, Capricorns. Okay, so the energy for the month of July 2023 is the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is asking you to stand up for what you believe in. So there might be a situation in July that makes you feel like your belief system is triggered. So we're going to really dive into that, because the theme is standing up for what you believe in, okay? And also too, I mean, like I said, along with the foundations that are crumbling, this is also a lot of people's foundations inside their belief systems, what they've believed to be true, even about themselves. So we're going to be seeing a lot of that energy. And so it is important to reflect this month on what is it that we believe, and why do we believe what we believe. Okay, so we definitely need to have some more passion this month, to open ourselves up to that, standing up for what we believe in. And the King of Wands, obviously fire, also kings, you can connect to father figures, whether that be you or a father figure in your life. It's a reminder that there's nothing there's nothing gained when there's nothing ventured, okay? So really utilize action forward movement. And again, as an earth sign, and a full moon in your sign, you might not be feeling that fire, and then on the other side too, if you're feeling that fire, you might not be acting on it, because earth signs, you have your roots planted firmly, and the more that these institutions and foundations that are connected to your sign are crumbling, the more you're going to want to grip your toes into the sand or toes into the dirt. And that's not the energy we need. We need forward moving energy that's connected to passion too. And if you see too, his belt and his wand make a 7. So this can definitely be something that's really beneficial financially for you. So also too, it feels like you might be compromising, okay? And it's not saying you're compromising too much, and it's not saying you're compromising not enough, okay? So you're just in the right balance of that. And obviously, too, you can see that the Two of Swords is a Libra card, and Libra is about justice and, the standing up for what you believe in. This is also connected to justice. So you are feeling connected to a sense of there being the right balance of compromise for the month of July. So keep that in mind when you are thinking about what it is that you believe in. Because if it's not connected to this compromise being in balance, we might want to take a look at why we're believing what we believe. And also too, so the Two of Swords also can indicate that there's going to be a decision that needs to be made, and it needs to be made from within. As you can see, their eyes are closed. There's a veil over their eyes, and this decision needs to come from a place inside that knows what's balanced and just, okay? So the choice you make, is a choice that you need to make. So just keep that in mind this month. But it's saying that, keeping things in perspective, because right now things are in perspective and you're having some clarity. And again, with full moons, they can create some really intense emotions that aren't necessarily connected to the reality of the situation, but more about our perception of the situation based on any childhood fears or wounds or trauma that is influencing how we're seeing the situation. So definitely see the situation outside of a perspective of your past experience and for what it is right now, because that impartiality is needed, because again, the emotions are going to really intensify at the beginning of the month. So don't let just don't let your emotions create any really instantaneous reactions, okay? We definitely need to focus on emotional regulation, because that is think before you speak, and think before you act, and think before you decide, okay? Okay, so the wheel is saying that we might need to slow down a little bit, okay? And it could be that we find comfort in constantly moving and constantly being on the wheel. Like right now, I'm just really feeling Capricorns on the outside of the wheel and somehow finding comfort in that. But what we want to do is we want to be in the center of the wheel. And so that's the reminder I feel like right now, is because, the wheel reminds us that there's change, and, like with the moon cycles and the seasons. But we want to be in the center when it comes to change. We don't want to be on the outside constantly on this roller coaster. And so this month, I feel like we want to shift from out here to in here, if you're able to, because it's really going to bring luck into your life when you utilize the flowing of the seasons instead of just chaotically going on the ride, okay? So you want to be the one that's in the center here. So keep that in mind for the month of July. Okay, so the Hermit comes into the area of what you can change. And so again, I feel like that here is connected to these two cards. So the Hermit's really asking you to have some introspection and contemplate so that you can make a decision that's based in justice and balance, okay? And so standing up for what you believe in, that's connected to the belief in fairness and balance, okay? And so by utilizing this Hermit energy, you can change the perspective if that perspective is not in this night and not in strategy, okay? Because we want that strategy and focus to be connected to this card and to be balanced and fair. And just no drama, I guess is what I would try to say. So utilize this energy. And again, because you're seeming to like riding outside of the wheel, it might be hard to harness this energy and go into an introspective state. But this is the perfect time to do it. Like I said, with the chaos on the outside, we really do want to connect on the inside and spend as much time as we can by ourselves and really connecting to who we are and not what we have become due to circumstances. Because the chaos, I think, too, that's happening with the collapse, like I said, it's really bubbling to the surface for a lot of people, no matter the sign, of patterns and wounds that are connected to our childhood, okay? So we might be triggered by seeing certain things, and if we don't understand where that trigger is coming from, it's just going to arise in that chaos being attached to us and then us projecting that chaos. So definitely stay out of the chaos. Okay, and so what you can expect or accept is that there's always change, and that it's okay to start something new. And I really feel like this newness is connected to how we think. So really when it says, standing up for what you believe in, I really think this is a change in how we are perceiving and thinking of what it is we believe in. Because that really connected to this introspection really feels like we can have almost a whole new identity. I know Leo got this too. So if you have a strong Leo presence in your chart or a Leo child or Leo parent, definitely take this to heart, because this really is indicating that we're shedding a completely different identity and stepping into something new, stepping into a whole new world. And like I said, that whole new world is coming in. You're being given the opportunity to have that, but you need to accept it. And by accepting it means that we get out of the just riding the wheel and being a part of the wheel, okay? So we want to pay attention to synchronicities. We want to pay attention to opportunities. We want to get out of the routine that is so comforting to certain Capricorn energy, because the comfort in familiar doesn't mean that the comfort in familiar is comforting. It can just be comforting because it's keeping us a false illusion of safety, I guess is how I would describe that. And we don't want to be fearful of having faith in something new, bringing something better, okay? Because I feel like this is almost this like connection of when we feel like whenever we try something new, it's not going to work, or we need to stick with what we know because that works. And it's the scaredness of it. So really see this from the innocence of a child and going out into the world like that with the innocence of a child, a child before any anything influenced their innocence, okay? So you kind of have to have faith and forget everything that you know, and head into the unknown. So that really, yeah, so that's further emphasizing this. So standing up for what you believe in, we're really going to be reflecting on what we believe in and why we believe it, because it's blocking us from this. And no matter how many times you've tried something and you can say it didn't work, people fail all the time, but that failure doesn't take us down. It's actually building us up. And that's the part of failure that I think a lot of people, including myself, have trouble seeing sometimes, is that they're stepping stones, because from everything that you can consider a failure, that's actually a lesson. And you are navigating to find, it's like Goldilocks, where she tries all the porridge and it's not right until she gets to the right one. Well, if she tried that first bowl of porridge and was like, oh, this is too hot, and she just walked away, she wouldn't have found the porridge that was just right. Now, granted, she shouldn't be breaking into anybody's house to begin with, but the moral is that, if you do try, you can find what it is that you're looking for, but you can't be scared to take that leap and shed any identities that no longer serve you. Shed that skin, because I really feel like a lot of the energy for this full moon, full moons are releasing. So you need to release something that is keeping you from behind, because it feels like you are connected to something that makes you feel like you are on that path, but then something like jerks you back. So pay attention to that this month. And while you're shedding that skin, embrace it, because this new energy, if we can accept that, we can move in a positive direction. However, with the Nine of Swords here, I really feel like if we get stuck in our Capricorn earth energy, we're not going to embrace this. So with this being the outcome at the end of the month, the Nine of Swords is fear and questioning ourselves, doubt, self-sabotage, staying up at night with worries and over-analyzing situations. So I really, really, really strongly urge you, Capricorns, to don't get lost in those thoughts, because what we think of, we manifest more of. And where are those fears coming from? And 9 times out of 10, you connect it to something with your childhood, whether or not you see it at face value. Sometimes it takes a lot of this hermit energy to get to what it is. So definitely, this reading is really urging you not to resist this Fool energy, because there's nothing to fear in the unknown. So again, the Fool is asking you to forget what you know, and the Nine of Swords is reminding you not to fear it. So even if you do accept this, right? Well, at the end of the month, you might have this bubble up. So if this does bubble up and you are questioning it, step back into this and remind yourself that this new timeline in your life is better than you could ever imagine. So stay focused on that when those feelings tend to bubble up. Okay, so next I'm going to pull a past life card for you. Now these past life cards, they can be connected to our life before and kids entered our life, or it can be connected to an actual past life before this life that we're living now. So let's see what kind of past life energy is connected to Capricorn for July 2023. What past life energy is going to help Capricorn? All right, interesting. Okay, so in the past life, the energy is mother. So again, this can be related to our childhood, or it can be related to a past life. So this can be connected, like I said, to mother energy from our childhood or mother energy from past life. So it says this card indicates that your mother in this life was also with you in other lifetimes. This is actually a very common occurrence. The mother-child relationship is a significant emotional and physical bond. If you enjoy a healthy and loving relationship with your mother in this lifetime, you were probably drawn together again because of your fondness for one another. However, if your relationship has been challenging, this indicates a need to balance that karma through forgiveness. So I want to remind people too that forgiveness isn't just forgiving somebody else, but it's also forgiving ourselves. I found this wonderful meditation on TikTok, and they have you visualize yourself as a 6-year-old and you as the adult walking back into your house when you were 6 years old and finding your 6-year-old self. It's a guided meditation. And you find yourself and you pick yourself up and you tell yourself that you're safe and it's okay. And you take your 6-year-old self out of the situation where you find yourself when you first start the meditation. And I can tell you that it is so comforting, and we really need to connect to that inner child this month. And the more we can do it in a sense of empowerment, because we're going to be faced with it regardless. So if we can do it from a sense of empowerment and being the parent of our inner child at this time, it's going to be life-changing. All right, Capricorn, well, I'm not sure what happened there, but my battery decided to pause. So I feel like that was a moment to pause to really take in the importance of connecting to this past life energy in order to, at the end of the month when these fears arise, to face them from a place of love and empathy for ourselves, for our childhood self that's still inside, because the child in all of us is always in there, no matter what kind of childhood we had. So definitely keep that in mind. So also too, so this card asks you to do more personal work concerning your mother. At this time, you may wish to add past life regression as a form of therapy. So Google past life regression and see if you can find any benefits of utilizing that in your everyday life. Okay, so since this does feel connected to us questioning our beliefs and a decision that needs to be made that is fair and balanced, let's see here. I'm going to pull an empowering question for you, Capricorn parents, and see what we can ask ourselves for the month of July 2023 that is going to help empower us and shed anything that might be influencing decisions. Okay, so the question to ask yourself is, what gives me great joy? So reflect on this question this month to empower yourself when it comes to making decisions. And again, because that high vibration energy is needed at this time. As we're shifting, we don't want to stay stuck in the low vibration that is crumbling away. We want to be a part of that high vibration that we are all connecting to, and that's we want to welcome in. Okay, I also want to pull a crystal then that's going to help us connect to our joy and work through whatever fears or doubts pop up that also too, I got the word burden in my head. So I actually said this to Leo. So again, I'm going back to feeling some really strong Leo energy. So if there's anything that's feeling like a burden in your life, we got to shift our perspective, because there's two sides to every coin, like I said. And if we see responsibility as a burden, then it's going to be a burden. But if we can see the joy in hard work, it shifts your whole perspective. So really question if there are any things in your life that you're seeing as a burden in this time, and how can you flip that and find a positive in that. And again, this is all comes down back to childhood resilience and what we identify as resilience in society. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people have confused what resilience is and what resilience is meant to look like for a child. So definitely connecting to that too if you're going to focus on any of that past life regression. Okay, so the crystal that you are suggested to have for the month of July is Tiger's Eye, which is wonderful. And Tiger's Eye is about personal power and action. So how lovely is that? If we're connecting to this Knight of Swords and connecting to what we believe in deep in our hearts, Tiger's Eye is what you want to have around you to really harness that personal power in action and to really welcome in this energy that we're all going to be receiving, okay? And not shy away from it, to know that this new thing isn't scary. This new opportunity, this new relationship, whatever new is coming in is not meant to be feared, okay? It's meant to really empower you, okay? So action is definitely gonna be needed. So I highly recommend this Tiger's Eye this month so that you can feel that personal power. And the more you feel that personal power and the more you feel connected to what you believe in deep in your heart, the less you're gonna see that Nine of Swords energy stick. Because again, like if it comes up, it comes up. We always, no matter how much work you've done on yourself, you're always going to have fears that bubble up, right? So the difference is, how long do we let ourselves stay up at night worried about these fears, okay? So that's definitely, I think, the biggest takeaway from this. And that tarot, it is like the weather. It is just meant to be a guide, and what we always have a choice as to how we utilize the energy. Okay, so I asked for a clarifying card, and the clarifying card is the Ten of Pentacles. So this is just further affirming for you, Capricorn, to really take this advice to heart and to work through it and take the steps needed. Shed yourself of that fear. The Ten of Coins is really reminding you to appreciate what you have, and it's also talking about appreciating your roots. Now, if you had a hard upbringing, this could be hard, but the thing to ask yourself is, what comes from that I can really take as a part of how it made me, good or bad, because no matter what, there's always a time to learn. There's always a time to jump to a new timeline. The choice is yours, because again, being an adult, you're able to reparent yourself, and how beautiful that is if you didn't have that energy in your life. Just take that to heart. Again, like I said, when all this stuff is foundationally going to feel like chaos, focus on gratitude. So I feel like that focus on gratitude as well when these feelings bubble up. So I hope you enjoyed your reading, Capricorn. Don't forget to check out your sun, moon, and rising for a more in-depth look at the month ahead. And also, please like, share, comment, Modern Maven Tarot, subscribe to, please. And if there's a question related to a specific planet in your chart, for instance, for you, the swords being connected to communication, and especially with that communication being connected to another sword and a choice with communication, really check your Mercury. See what planet or see what sign your Mercury is in, and take a look at that reading as well, because there's going to be some answers in there that could really help you with this and connecting to the center of that decision that's going to be made. So again, have a great July. Don't let those fears get the best of you, and you've got this, Capricorn parents. Enjoy your July.